Strangely, it didn't ask me where I was going to record it, so hopefully it's recording it locally and not to the cloud. Welcome everyone to the MachinePools working group on Tuesday, the 23rd of September, 2025. Just a reminder that we abide by the CNCF Code of Conduct, which basically boils down to be nice to each other. If you could list any agenda items in the meeting notes document, which I will also share in the chat window now for anyone that hasn't got it. One thing to note is if you can't use the document, you will need to join this mailing list for SIG Cluster Lifecycle. So once you've joined that, you will be able to edit. If you don't have that, you should still be able to view, but not actually add anything to it. So like I say, if you could add anything, any agenda items there, and also to your list your name to the list of attendees, which I will do for myself as well, that would be great. What have I missed? That's about it really, isn't it? So we can jump straight in. So let me put these down as host. So welcome everyone. Is there anyone that didn't attend last week? If you didn't, you're more than welcome just to say hello.
Yeah, this is Ravi here. I couldn't join last week because of some other meeting conflict. So my name is Ravi Pandey, and I work for Google currently, Google Distributed Cloud to be more specific. And we use CAPI internally, and I'm happy to help in any way that I can. Nice to meet you all.
Cool, welcome Ravi.
I'll jump into, hey, this is Craig Fullen. I work at New Relic, and this is my first time joining. So we used CAPI and Kappa CapZ. So we're in AWS and Azure currently. Probably about 90% of that's AWS, but also in Azure. And I'll share one of the big things we've seen recently, you probably are well aware of this. Azure is out of capacity mostly in US East. So we get lots of failed machines that come up. And that's been one of the big challenges with, I guess it's more on the CapZ side with it, not understanding the machine didn't actually provision or it failed. So Richard, I think I put it in my email that one of our guys here, he's out today. He's been working on a PR for that to kind of handle the failed machines. So.
Cool. Thanks, Craig. Alrighty. We can move on to the agenda items. So there's two currently. Matt, did you want to go with the first one?
Sure. This is just following up on what we talked about last week, and it's no big whoop, but it was, to me at least, surprising. So maybe to some of you, there are at least 4, hopefully soon 5 implementations of MachinePools. So that's reassuring to me. It indicates we're not wasting our time here, and this thing is not going away, obviously. And and with 5 implementations, I think we should be able to leverage those to let other providers who maybe want to implement it say, one of these could be a reference implementation for V1 Beta 2. I'm hoping is what I'm saying. But anyway, I found this encouraging, because I was unaware of OCI and Scaleway.
Yeah, same here. I just assumed it was AWS and Azure with GCP coming on. So this, yeah, it's brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it definitely, like you say, it definitely proves the fact that we need to get MachinePools fixed instead of letting these 5 providers go their own ways, because MachinePools has slowly died to death, and they've got their own ways of doing this type of thing. So yeah, brilliant. Cool. So that's a good segue onto the what I put down as the next agenda item, which was just to review the list of actions from last week. So that was one of them. So if I just go down to last week, action items was why would you want to use MachinePools? So this hasn't been started, so maybe we could just bring this up as a discussion point of how we move this forwards after we've just gone through this list here. I'll just do that now. Then we had so that's the one that Matt's just talked about, list of the current implementations. So that's done. So we can talk about this one as well. So creating a single list of issues to work on. So there was two main issues that we've been using as a reference. So the main one now is this that you created, Matt, isn't it? Graduate MachinePools from experimental to stable API. So there was a comment further down in this issue that Stefan had created, somewhere down there anyway. But now he's moved it up to the top here. So this is pretty much the list of things that Stefan has put there and a few other people after the fact. So we could consider this as a list of things initially. It does link out to other issues and bugs, but there's probably a couple of things related to this. Is obviously the label area MachinePool. Andreas, you mentioned this earlier, didn't you? Just now, literally before the meeting. So most things should have that label applied to them, and I guess if we come across any issues or PRs that don't have that relate to MachinePools, we should be proactively adding that there as well. But this is, I guess, this list is a starting point, I think, probably. I don't know what everyone else thinks. So it'd be good to, I'll put that into the doc.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, jump in.
So if we find an issue that's interesting to us, should we signal that we want to take that issue?
Yeah, so if there's an actual issue, so if we go into this one here, for example, I'll just pick one as random. So it's actually got an issue assigned and not just we need to do this thing like here. Then yeah, we could treat it as any other issue and basically comment on there, say, hey, I want to work on this and assign it like you would any other issue. So I'm still waiting for the new Slack channel to be created. So we did discuss in the office hours last week, in the cafe office hours, that is, whether we should use the existing channel or a new channel. So the consensus was that we should create a new channel. So that is still pending. So I've created the request. So there is a request here in the community repo to create a Slack channel. So I guess the other thing, coming back to your question, Matt, is once we have that channel as well, it's really worth us just putting a note into the channel saying I'm going to work on this thing as well as a sign it, just so that gives some visibility. And I'll say especially so for things that don't have an actual issue assigned to them, and it's just like an item that we need to work on. Historically, I guess for things like the V1, V2 change recently, there weren't issues for everything. So there was a lot of these like tasks that you have to do that didn't actually have an issue that you could claim behind. So that was, I guess, coordinated between the people that were working on the various things there. So we could comment on the issue if there was one, or comment on this saying I'm going to do this thing, or and then in the Slack channel as well. I guess over communication is always quite good in this scenario, so we don't end up tripping over each other's work or repeating it. Go for it, Bareth.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yep.
Just want to ask, are there any like outstanding issues, like pending issues before we need to get to the one that you're highlighting? So this one pretty much looks like we need to get it out from experimental to stable API. That means probably working with versions and stability and stuff, right? But before that, do we have any like bug fixes that we can get started on, get a feel of, the feature and all that, or directly jump onto this?
So there are bugs in here as well. So there are some potential bugs here, as you can see.
Okay.
yeah, so this is not, I guess the things covered here are known missing features, known bugs, documentation type things that all need to be done before we could, even think about graduating and get into that change in the API version, for example.
Right.
So yeah.
So I assume it's more like a long-standing, long-term open issue or epic to track it, right? So
Yeah.
probably going to take months or so before we get to each one of them, and then we can think of a feature. Cool, got it. Yeah.
Yeah, and considering that MachinePools have been experimental for years, 2, 3, 4 years, something like at least. As long as we're chipping away at these and gradually improving MachinePools, we will get there eventually. Any progress we make forward is helpful, and we can just start ticking these off, and then regularly we could review this list and see, hey, do we think it's, and hey, and more, I guess the main question is, hey, do the core maintainers at CAPI think it's in a position to graduate? And they'll look at this list as a means, but also, I guess, the consistent contributions from the community. So that would be the plan.
Yeah. Yeah, makes sense. Thanks.
Cool. So I've got the Slack chat. Well, we will get the Slack channel. I will, if it's not created in the next day or so, I will just give a poke on the issue to the people that it's assigned to, and just see if they can expedite the creation of the Slack channel. In fact, if it's not done by the end of today, US time, I will ping in the morning. Cool. So I guess going back to the list of action items from last week, there was one I think Justin raised that was, we have documentation on the feature and we have a comparison between MachinePools and machine deployments, but there is no real description as to why you'd want to use MachinePools. And that was taken as an action item last week, but we didn't assign it to anyone. So I guess, is there anyone that would be willing to collaborate or work together on, via Google Doc or HackMD or something to try and flesh this out?
So last week, right, when this topic came up, I'd actually put up I think it's down in the document towards the end of the doc. I had put up a link, which is of the proposal doc for MachinePools. In that, there's a bit to start with to understand why this was originally asked for.
Yep.
I mean, I would say more than to start with. I think a bulk of the information that's needed is actually already there. So yeah, I can sort of take that and then, take the lead on.
That'd be really helpful. And the main thing here is to, I guess, check that the reasoning in the original proposal was there, but also move it into the actual documentation site. So it's whenever someone looks at MachinePools, they can see it there. Andreas, go for it.
Yeah, so first of all, I would be happy to kind of join in if it's Google Docs or whatever, where you can live edit or comment on the proposal text. I mean, it's just documentation. I'd be happy to help. We need two things in docs. One thing is this rationale. Why do we need MachinePools? What's different from machine deployments, machine sets, whatever else? Where is it used? Like specifically, I think it's only for workers, but I cannot fully tell. I hope it's only for workers. Anything else wouldn't make sense to me. And then second, I think we have a ticket for this is to write down the actual contract. So API, behavior, status fields, all that stuff. There is kind of a description of this with a flowchart, but it's not really the contract. And I think those are two different things that we have to write. And I guess this large issue, yeah, we definitely have to split it up into tasks. And definitely nice to see people stepping up and trying to lead this. Thank you.
Cool. Go for it, Osama.
Yeah, so if given opportunity, I would also like to take this up. So if there are any opportunities, so I can also work on this one.
Cool. Cool. Oh, three hands up. Are they new hands or I guess I'm talking to yeah, cool. Subhasis, sorry, I'm
Yeah,
mispronouncing your
hi.
name.
This is Shubhashish. I have been joining this Cappy Capsi calls over the years, so you can count me in for any sort of documentation, pros and cons, schematics, explanation, or tests.
Brilliant. I appreciate that. Seems like we've got a good core of people that could collaborate on that. I guess that Andreas and Barath, I guess because you were the two first people, and I know Andreas, you've used them a lot in your company. Would you mind driving that and then getting the other people involved and collaborating?
Yeah, sure.
Do we have a sub issue for this already, Richard?
I don't. I think it's one of those ones on here that is either not listed or so there's something on here about doing the contract.
Yeah, let's do this quickly. Just a rough title, and then assign us to it immediately.
Yeah. Yeah. So a lot of these don't actually have, I guess, actual issues. So like with the V1 Beta 2 stuff, they didn't actually use issues. They just had that overarching epic or tracking issue. So when I did pick them up, I did start to create issues, but I was told that it's not necessary.
Yeah,
So
I think we should just do it on issue, 2 or 3 people, one pull request or something.
yeah, cool.
Once we could do it now and assign the people, then we have the GitHub usernames and we don't have to wait for the chat group or anything. Because then people can kind of start, yeah, they're motivated to get going.
Yep, all right, let's do that now.
And one we can just call a rationale for machine pools or document rationale for machine pools. And the other one would be document contract for machine pools. Add the label, and that's it. I think that might be a quick start for anything we do in the working group.
It's just machine pools, isn't it?
Without the S, it's one word, singular. I think that's enough.
Let's put from rationale for using machine pools. There is some information in the original that can be used. Cool. Let me just put that into our chat as well. Cool. And then it's probably worth just putting brilliant. Cool. So I'll create another one for the contract as well, and I'll get LinkedIn. So I guess that's pretty much from the agenda items. There was one thing I think this last week we discussed about having a quick session on how to set up your development environment and getting started contributing to CAPI. Is that something that would be useful? Or do we just see how it goes? We can see how it goes, I guess, and we can just decide on that async, especially when the Slack channel's there.
I think seeing how it goes is a good idea. Maybe nobody will run into issues, or maybe there'll be common issues that everybody will run into, so it'll be more efficient this way.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Alrighty. Is there any last minute topics anyone would like to discuss?
Richard, I guess your last question to me was how I can contribute. So I can bring out the use cases where this can be leveraged. And
Brilliant.
if there are any, test cases that needs to be, dry tested, I can also contribute.
Brilliant.
I have one side question, Richard. Is there any way I can use my other email address to join this? Because I was facing challenge to, enroll me into the SIG DL.
That's a good point, actually. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have admin privileges to that DL, but I'm sure that we could speak to someone that is an admin there, and they can manually add you as a member with a different email address, potentially.
Sure. You did send an email to me. I responded, so I can re-request on that thread. Thanks so much, Richard.
Okay, cool. Brilliant. Well, we've got just 5 minutes to spare, so we'll get 5 minutes back unless there's any other topics. Cool.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks everyone for attending.
Thanks.
Thank you.
See ya.
Thank you.
Bye.